Hello everyone, it's me, Maya, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm filming from my iPhone, so let's see how that looks. I'm also doing a 50 facts about me because I have just passed 50 subscribers. I actually am at 58. So I thought as a thank you, I'd give you all a little bit more facts about me. There are 50 of these facts, and so this video doesn't go on forever. Let's get started. So in case you don't know, my name is Maisha Speight, and I like to go by Maya because it's easier for people to pronounce, but my full name is Maisha. My middle name is LaShawn, spelled L-A-C-H-O-N, and it's a joint between my older siblings' middle name. I'm the youngest of 3, and my oldest brother is Lamar, and my sister is Fashawn, so LaShawn, and you have my name. I am 23 years old. My birthday is August 14th, 1992. I am a Leo. I am a sun sign. I have a very emotive personality, so I'm very bubbly and I'm very enthusiastic, as you can probably tell from this channel. I am an optimistic person and I like to spread positivity. I'm not really sure how. I have tried to figure it out, but I'm a very energetic person. It's almost like I have an endless supply of energy that I have no idea where it comes from, but that's just kind of the person that I am. I wear glasses, as you can see here, and I started wearing glasses when I was 14, so it's been about 9 years, and I've only owned 4 pairs of glasses in the time that I've started wearing them. I have tried contacts, but I do prefer wearing glasses because it's just easier to deal with them and take off. I am 6'5". I'm very tall. My whole family is tall, and you would be so surprised the strange looks I get and the stares and the questions and the statements. But otherwise that, I love being myself and I love being tall. I'm a Christian, and that's my belief system, and I enjoy being a Christian, and I believe that it is the reason why I am such a positive person, because I know that I can depend on God and I know that He's looking out for me. As a Christian, my main belief is that hate should not be in the equation. I don't really agree with people using the Bible as a weapon or using the Bible as a reason to put people down. I don't agree with that. That's my biggest thing, where I can understand why most people don't like Christianity or they don't agree with Christianity. It's because of all the evil people out there who are using Christianity as a weapon. As a Christian, I don't agree with it either. Jesus preached love. Jesus preached relationship. That's how I like to live. Like, I can't condemn you or say just because you live a certain way or just because you do a certain thing, you're gonna go to hell. That's not the type of person that I am. So, if you will get one thing from this channel, no, I love you. I love you all. I think I have sort of an obsessive personality, and I end up getting onto something and I want to like find out everything about it. And so I've basically had a lot of time periods where I was obsessed about a certain thing. So when I was younger, I was obsessed with Polly Pockets. Now, I'm not even sure if any person under 20 would know what those were, but they were these little figurines. They were like Barbie dolls, but they were a lot smaller, and they had plastic clothes, and I had so many of them. And I still have all of them now. I used to play with them all the time, and they were the best little things ever. And I've always been a storyteller, so I would come up with stories for my Polly Pockets, and they would go on these whirlwind adventures. I think that's the beginning of my sparked creativity, where it was just like, let's just tell these people stories. Now, currently, I'm obsessed with Hamilton, which is the Broadway musical that's been taking the nation. It's amazing. It's basically super amazing. I've gotten the soundtrack. I'm streaming it from Amazon Prime, and I also want to get the Hamiltome, which that's what I'm calling it, which is the background of Lin-Manuel Miranda's creating of the musical. The next thing is that I went to Winston-Salem State University for my undergrad. I have a bachelor's in English. I minored in history. I graduated magna cum laude, which was a 3.79 GPA. quite proud of myself, which makes sense because I went to school on a full academic scholarship. And because I'm so tall, people automatically assume that I went to school for basketball or that I got a basketball scholarship. A lot of people were really pressing me to get a basketball scholarship. But luckily, I was smart and I didn't have to depend on the athletic ability that I did not have. As I said before, I love stories and I'm a storyteller and I'm a story collector. So I'm a super big fan of stories. And when people tell me stories, I am enwrapped. I can't get away because I want to know everything about people. And also, I love movies and I love books. I love how stories can be told and how stories can take you to another place. That's what I love. And so I love movies. I really don't have a favorite movie because I've watched so many movies in my lifetime. My favorite genre of movie is romance, action, and adventure. I love explosions, I love fighting movies, and I love comedy. So it's usually in one of those three categories. With the books, my favorite types are contemporary and fantasy. All of my favorite books either fall in one of those two categories. Next is what was my favorite childhood book, and that's easy. And I'm pretty sure all of you all know that my favorite childhood book was The Last of the Really Great Wangdoodles by Julie Andrews Edwards, and it is to this day still one of my favorite books. I read it recently, I think last summer, and I was surprised by how much I loved it. It was so, like, you look back at a book and you're like, ugh, but I still love this. Child me probably really loved this. Would adult me, who has experienced some things, love it too? And I can honestly say I did. And one of my favorite books now is One Day at a Time by Danielle Steele. And like I said to you all before, it's probably one of the first books where I could really relate to the character, and the fact that there was this really hot British actor that she fell in love with. I'm like, yep, I want this to be my life. I want to fall in love with a British actor, and I want to live my own life and kind of really find your place in your family and the world, because that's basically something that I'm struggling with now. It's like, okay, what do I want to do with the rest of my life? And of course, everybody has those questions, like, what are you doing? What do you want to do? It's like, I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out tomorrow. Let me get through tomorrow, and then I'll let you know. Some of my favorite authors are Danielle Steele, and I've loved her forever, and I've got that love from my mother because she also loves Danielle Steele books, and she has her own pretty huge collection. I love Octavia Butler. She is such a prolific author, and she basically changed the games for African American women in the genre of science fiction. I love Sarah Dessen and her contemporary novels for teens and young adults. I am a volunteer tour guide at a postal museum, and I now know a lot more about postal history than I ever thought I would ever know. But it's cool taking people on tours, and it's my own way of telling stories, and I think it's so perfect for me because I can take people through the exhibits and kind of tell them the stories behind different artifacts. And this is a letter that Amelia Earhart carried on her journeys, or this is this upside down stamp that looked pretty ordinary until you realize that it was worth over $15,000 in 1918, so you can only imagine how much it was worth now. So it's so, like, there's so many stories that you can tell as a tour guide that I'm so thankful that I found it, and it's so interesting that I can do this every week as a job. It's a volunteer job, so I'm not getting paid for it. But speaking of jobs, I have had a number of jobs in my life, and I put it in quotations because it's before you actually have to pay taxes. So I think one of my first jobs was a tutor. Probably my first year of college. That was probably one of my first official jobs. And I think they took taxes, but I really wouldn't count it as a job because I was still getting help from my parents. And then I was also a book review marketing intern for summer. And what else have I done? Not a lot, and I haven't really had a lot of jobs, so I really can't say that I've had any real jobs where I'm having to pay taxes and trying to have to, like, budget my money. Now, at 23, I can safely say that I'm at my first real job, which is at a cafe, and I do a number of jobs there. and I'm really learning now how to budget my money. I don't think I was very good with money management before, but since this is what I'm calling my first real job, I want to get a lot better at it, and I want my money to last more than 2 weeks. I'm just saying, I really want this money to last. So next is, I am really bad at keeping up with TV shows. I don't know what it is. I think it's probably because I lose interest quickly, or something else snags my interest before I can finish a series. If I do watch a series, it's through a marathon where I just watch the series all the way through. I'm not good at keeping up with TV shows, and I'm not really good with keeping up with book series either, unless I'm marathoning the series, or if I make up my mind that I'm going to read the entire series, because I usually lose interest, or another book will grab my interest. So unless the book is, or the series is phenomenal, I probably won't finish it. The next fact is, what makes me like a book is the surprises. For some reason, I'm really good at guessing books, or guessing how a book will go. I think that's just my analytical brain that makes it really hard to be surprised. So when I do have a book that surprised me, where I have a book that goes in a way that I wouldn't expect, I end up loving the book so much more. Now, where do I get most of my books? Mostly the library, and I do that because I'm a very picky reader, so the library allows me to get as many books as I want, and then I can decide whether I want to hold on to them or not, or I can get a whole bunch of books and not break my bank. I have very rarely paid full price for a book, and it's been a very long time since I've paid full price. I usually get my books from Book Outlet, Book Depository, Walmart, Target, those 20% off books. So it's been a long time. Or even a thrift store. I've also gotten books from thrift stores, really great books that I've been wanting for a long time. Where do I like to read? I like to read on my bed, mostly, sitting up where my feet are on the floor. Sometimes I have to put my feet up, but usually I like to be sitting up straight when I'm reading, because when I'm laying down, it makes me want to go to sleep. I also love reading on couches or sofas, because that makes it so comfy and so cozy. There's this humongous chair downstairs that I love to sit in. It's so just cozy, and like I want to read there forever. Now on to, and I also made a nook beside my bed, which is where I like to read, where it's really cozy. It's I got some sofa cushions from downstairs from a sofa that we don't use anymore, and I set them down, I set some pillows down, and it's just, I love like kind of being snuggled on all sides when I'm reading, because it kind of feels like you're in like a little cubby, and it's the most comfortable thing. I just love it so much. My favorite type of book are paperbacks, and I think those are the best books to read. I don't hate the hardcovers. There's more of the hardcovers, but the paperbacks are just so much easier to read. Hardcovers are harder to take around and harder to read when you're like trying to go on the metro or something. Like a hardcover is hard to like keep track of, and the paperback is kind of easier to hold, easier to fit in the bag. I do love audiobooks. I've always loved audiobooks, but it's been harder to get back into them, finding an audiobook that I really love. But I love that it's almost like a movie in your head, where you can really close your eyes and visualize everything that's going on. And personally, it's probably better than any film adaptation I've ever seen, where you actually have the voice actor doing the inflection that the author would have thought of, or you can have someone say something exactly how you would expect the character to say it. So it's just like, oh my god, it's like I'm there, and I love it. Ebooks. I have recently got into ebooks. I can't say that I've loved them forever. I found that I can only really get into them when it's a larger screen and I can read it as if I'm reading a book. I can use it on my Kindle, which is right here, and that's where I'm getting all of my notes from. That's the best way for me to really read and focus and get into the story. Do I prefer writing or typing? Now, I'm probably one of the few that's still a little old school, and I would prefer a pen and a journal any day over typing. But I think I prefer writing, because I think the ideas flow a lot easier when I'm writing them down than when I'm typing. I think my brain just loves the feel of the pen in my hand, and I can just let it it flow and I can just let my brain go and like, let's just see what we have to say. So my bookshelf. How is my bookshelf organized? My bookshelf is organized by genre now. It used to be color, where I had all the similar colors near each other. I'm considering doing author name. How long have I been a booktuber? I've been a booktuber for about almost a year. I started in August, and I joined booktube because I wanted a platform to talk about my books, and my family wasn't big on books then, so like I really wouldn't have a lot of people to talk about. And the thing about me is, and I'm still bad at doing book summaries, so I don't want to have to tell you everything about this book. I want you to already know about the book, and then we can go from there with our conversation. But when you're trying to explain it to your family, you have to like tell them the entire story, and then tell them the part you're excited about. And I didn't really want to do that. So this way I could kind of just say from whatever part I'm excited about, and whoever's listening or whoever likes the books too, they can pick up from what I'm talking about, and I don't have to do a lot of explaining. My favorite parts about booktube is the community. Like, I love the people who comment on my videos. I love people who have liked my videos and just everything. I feel like everyone's so nice. I love how we can mutually like each other and enjoy everybody's works, and you don't have to feel that there's an expectation that you have to do something. I know other people feel a sort of expectation with booktube where you have to read a certain amount of books or you have to buy a certain amount of books, but I really don't feel that pressure. Maybe that's because I already knew why I was joining booktube. I was doing it because I wanted to read, and I wanted to share my thoughts on what I read, and I wasn't really doing it to compare myself with other people. I was doing it because I love to do it. I also love the fact that it gives me a reason to read more. It's not specifically to buy more books, because I do have the library. I don't really feel like I need to buy a lot of books to keep up with the rest of the booktubers. And I think it probably overwhelms me a little bit to see that many books. So I think the library and where I'm at, I really enjoy what I'm doing. When I'm filming, this is probably my first time using a iPhone camera, so we'll find out how well this works. But I usually film in front of my window on my webcam, and I really enjoy it. Like, I don't really feel any pressure to say that I have to get a better camera, or that I need to get bigger lights or bigger bells and whistles, or I need to buy more books. I don't really feel that type of pressure, and I think I have the best subscribers, which is why I'm doing this for you now. And I wonder if you stayed this long. But I just enjoy it, and I really do appreciate everyone that's subscribed to my videos. You guys are amazing, and I think you guys are so uplifting, and you guys are just amazing. I just love you all. My most popular video to date is my Project for Awesome video for NaNoWriMo. Now, I had no idea that video was going to get so much buzz, but it got over 2,000 views, which is the most on any of my videos, and it actually won for the Project for Awesome. So because of that video and everyone liking it and sharing it, and voting for it as well, NaNoWriMo gets funding for another year from Project for Awesome. So that made me so proud of the work that my video did and everyone who shared it did. And it's just like, this is big. So like, yeah, that definitely wins for most popular, but I never really thought when I did that video that, oh yeah, I'll win and everyone will join my channel. I think I was only doing it because I genuinely support NaNoWriMo. I owe so much to NaNoWriMo that I wanted to give a little bit back. Now, did I know that because of that video I would get 2,000 views and some odd followers? A lot of things that I learned from booktube is that when you do something because you genuinely want to do it. You don't do it because it'll get you followers. Just do what you love and enjoy it, and then you'll be surprised by the response you get. Now, my favorite video to film was the Princess Challenge video, where I had to stack books on my head, which is probably a lot easier to do now, since easier to do then because my fro was a little bit shorter, but it was so much fun. I think I got like 8 or 9 books, And they followed me, of course, but it was so fun. I think that was probably one of the first videos I filmed with Booktubeathon. And it was just like, this is amazing. Why is it so amazing? My favorite video to edit was my channel trailer, because I got to look through all of my old footage from before, and of course I ended it with the Princess Challenge, and like seeing all the books fall again and kind of reliving that, and then kind of having the text wipe in. It was like, this, oh, so many memories. I think I'm due to film another one very soon because I have a lot more videos now, but I have no idea when that's gonna go up. And where are we now? We are at fact 45, so if you're still sticking around, I really appreciate it. Okay, so I'm not a fan of technology. I kind of hate it, but I recognize that it's a necessary evil because we have so much connected to technology. I personally don't want to get too dependent on it because that's usually when bad things happen, and when my computer crashes or when a virus deletes my entire computer, you find that you're so dependent on it that you really don't know how to function without it. And so that's why I'm on like a love-hate relationship with technology. I want to just chuck my phone and chuck my computer, but I know I can't because everything is super expensive. Number 46, I'm cathartically creative, and I'm pretty sure I made up that term, but what that means to me is that anytime I'm having a rough day, or if something's horrible going on, or I'm just feeling frustrated, I usually have to make something, and I feel a little bit better. Sometimes you'll see a lot of paintings or sculptures. It's like, oh, she was probably having a bad day for that, but now you have something beautiful to show for it, and it's not all bad. My last 4 facts all have to do with food. I love food. I'm a big lover of food. I can consider myself a fairly patient person unless I'm waiting for food. I'm no good in restaurants. I'm no good when I'm hungry. Like, don't make me wait for food. That's one thing. Like, I'm a pretty positive sunshiny person until you say, oh, the wait is 30 more minutes. Excuse me? No, we're leaving. We're getting something else. My favorite snacks are fruit snacks and then chocolate covered pretzels, and they're so good. Like the salty from the pretzels and the sweet from the chocolate blend together, and it's amazing. I love fries. I can honestly say fries are my favorite food. And my 2 favorite types are tied between the waffle fries from Chick-fil-A and the fries from McDonald's. And my final fact is that one of my favorite desserts is strawberry shortcake, but it has to be perfect. So it has to have the sponge cake and then the right whipped cream frosting. It can't just be like from a can. It has to be fresh, and the strawberries on top. It's so good. And I think I want one for my birthday, which is coming up in a couple months, I guess. 2 or 3 months. I don't know. When's my birthday again? Quiz. When's my birthday? So, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Hopefully I stayed in shot for at least 50% of the video. And I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. Bye!